Hello, welcome to my chase predictions for this year, basically. This is my chase predictions for this year, so I just put this in just some order. And I decided to represent some of the drivers with diecast. And this one's actually Chase. This one I'm actually using to represent Chase Elliott. This one Carl Edwards. This one Kevin Harvick, because I do have, even though I do have a Kevin Harvick diecast, I just can't find it anywhere. And you got Chris Buescher. This one's Chris Buescher. This one I'm representing as Chris Buescher. This one I'm representing as Jamie McMurray. So, I know that these aren't really those type of they aren't those drivers, but I'm just using them to represent them because I don't have them all, just anyway. So, so the first round, Chicagoland. A lot of people have been picking Gibbs one of the Gibbs drivers. But actually, if you pay attention closely, ever since 2012, there's actually been a pattern of different drivers. So, you got Brad Keselowski, then a Gibbs driver, which is Denny Hamlin. You got, actually it's Matt Kenseth. Yeah, it's Matt Kenseth. Then a Penske, then Brad Keselowski, and then a Gibbs driver, which is Denny Hamlin. And do you know who it's going to be the next driver to win? It's Brad Keselowski. So Brad Keselowski will win at Chicagoland, and that's likely. Now, New Hampshire. 2 years ago was Joey Logano, but I think a Gibbs driver might win, and that Gibbs driver will be Denny Hamlin in the number 11 FedEx Toyota. Next is Dover, the first elimination race of the season. And who I think is going to win? I'm going to say I'm going to bet it all and say Kyle Larson is going to win. Because he was so close to winning in Dover last time around. I think he might, since he won at Michigan, I think he'll be able to do it. I think he'll be able to win in Dover this time. So, the drivers that'll be eliminated. You all know Chris Buescher is not going to make it, obviously. Jimmy McMurray's obviously not going to make it. Austin Dillon is likely not going to make it. And I know a lot of people don't want me to do this, but I'm sorry, but Kurt Busch, because he's not been really that consistent as he has been in the previous years. So these drivers are now out. So the second round. So Napa fan has actually been picking Harvick, but I don't agree on that. Actually, I think a Toyota driver under the name Kyle Busch will win at Charlotte and finally win at that racetrack. So next driver is going to be at Kansas. I'm going to say Chase Elliott's going to get his first career win at Kansas. Now next driver. The next race is Talladega. And Talladega's been pretty unpredictable. So anything could happen. Tony Stewart could win and make it into the third round. Jimmy Johnson might be able to make it past the eliminator. And just anything could happen. But I think Jimmy Johnson will be able to make it. So the drivers will be able to win. Jimmy Johnson will be able to win at Talladega. Now, for the drivers that are not going to make it in, likely. So Denny Hamlin's probably not going to make it because he's not as consistent as Kyle Busch over there. So I don't think Denny Hamlin has a shot at it. And he hasn't been strong as of late. I think Matt Kenseth will not be able to make it either. Next driver, I think and I don't think Tony Stewart's gonna make it because he's not as powerful as he used to be. So I'm sorry, but Tony Stewart's not gonna do it. And Tony Stewart, I hope you are gonna have an amazing career, and just do the best as you can during these last 10 races. And the last driver that I don't think is going to make it in is Kevin Harvick. Yes, I know Kevin Harvick's been in the Final Four for the past 2 years, but last year at Talladega, he was almost going to be eliminated, but then he had to ruin everything. And I hate Kevin Harvick because he ruined Junior's championship hopes. Jerk. Anyway, now to the Eliminator 8. The Eliminator 8. So, Martinsville has obviously been in Gibbs and Hendrick dominated, basically. But, however, Joey Logano actually came close last year. But Matt Kenseth decided to ruin his chances at winning a championship. But I think Joey Logano will be able to do it this time. And in Texas, I think Jimmy Johnson will be able to win there because he's been winning there for like the past, I don't know. I think it's been 4 races. I think he's gonna win 5 Texas races in a row, and he'll be able to make it into the Final Four. And Phoenix, Kevin Harvick will obviously win, but he won't be able to make it into the Final Four because he's not in the chase. But the drivers that are likely going to make it down points are probably Martin Truex Jr. and, surprisingly, Kyle Larson. And how about that, people? Gibbs, even though dominating the entirety of the season, won't be able to make it. Won't be able to make the Final Four. Only Martin Truex Jr. driving a Gibbs engine will make it in. So he's pretty much the closest thing to a Gibbs car. So basically, anyway, and these two, Brad Keselowski and Chase Elliott, are not gonna make it in because they're not as consistent as they should be. And then here's the Final Four. At Homestead, you got Joey Logano in the number 22 Pennzoil Ford, Jimmy Johnson the 48 Lowe's Chevrolet, and about time he made it. You got Martin Truex Jr. making it in the Final Four 2 years in a row, and newcomer to the Final Four, Kyle Larson. Technically Jimmy is, but Kyle Larson is a new championship contender. So anyway, I think Larson can pull off a Brad Keselowski championship. No. Okay. So Joey Logano, he might probably have problems at this race. Will probably have like engine failures. Jimmy Johnson will likely not be able to make it because he never won Homestead in the past. So it's up to these two, Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Larson. And, you know, Kyle Larson always likes to race a high line at Homestead, and Homestead's one of those tracks. But the only reason why we haven't seen him win is because he hasn't been in the Final Four. And the Final Four has always been in the championship contenders in the past few years have been pretty much going for the win. Probably because they all want to win the championship at once. So, it's going to be pretty, so that would probably be an epic battle. But I think Kyle Larson will actually pull off a Brad Keselowski, where he got his first championship in his third full start. So yeah, Kyle Larson will be able to get his first career NASCAR Sprint Cup Series championship, barely being Martin Truex Jr. So that's my predictions. So I hope you guys enjoy my prediction, and leave in the comments below what do you who do you think will win the championship, and what would your prediction list would look like? So, anyways, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.